Ah, love is sweet like sugar. God when. But you see, e dey also pepper like pepper soup. Welcome to Ikot Akpo, where our lovebirds are showing us the secret ingredient in every relationship. I think that ingredient is constant arguments. But let's find out. Ekaette and Edet grew up in the old village of Ikot Akpo, a place where everyone knew each other, and life was simple yet fulfilling. From the moment they could walk, Ekaette and Edet were inseparable. They roamed the village together, climbed the mango trees, swam in the nearby stream, and attended the same primary and secondary schools. Their friendship blossomed naturally into a deeper affection as they grew older. They shared dreams of a future where they would both attend university, get good jobs, and eventually build a life together. Theirs was a bond admired by many in the village, a perfect bond of friendship and love. During their secondary school final exams, unlike the rest of the students, Ekaette was sad and restless. Her parents could not afford the examination fees. Edet, on the other hand, had paid his exam fees. 2 days to the examination, there was still no hope for Ekaette. Her mother, Ekaette, comforted her and assured her that the examination would add nothing to her. She advised her to start selling firewood, their family's business. That evening, she met with her best friend Edet. "So this is how my academic pursuit will end," she cried. "You know how much I want to go to school. At least I should successfully complete my secondary education. What then was the point going through JS1 till SS3 when I cannot write the final exams and graduate?" Edet was sad. He didn't also have money, and he really wanted Ekaette to take the examination. He encouraged Ekaette not to worry, that everything will be fine and that she will write the exams. That night, Edet went home crying to his parents. He told them that he had lost his examination fee and that he had to pay before the examination day, which was in 2 days. Edet's father was furious and beat him mercilessly. Edet cried, but he felt satisfied that he was able to sacrifice his happiness to save his friend. God will know. The next day, Edet went to Ekaette's house and saw her splitting firewood. "My friend, so you have this much power?" Edet said teasingly. But Ekaette was in no mood for jokes. He handed the money to her and reminded her that he would do anything for her. Ekaette was so happy and thanked Edet. But wait though, where did you get the money from? Hope you did not steal, Ekaette asked. Edet laughed and said, "Am I not a man? I meant the money." On the day of the exams, they both sat for the exams and wrote it. A month later, Ekaette's mother, Ekaette, received a letter from a postman. It was addressed to Ekaette. She opened it and saw that Ekaette had been offered a scholarship due to her exceptional performance in the just concluded final examinations. Their joy knew no bounds. Immediately Ekaette had the information, she ran to the one person that made this a reality. "Edet, I'm going to the university. I have received a scholarship. Can you even believe that?" Edet couldn't believe it. He always knew that Ekaette was the brainy one, and that she deserved a better chance at education. Though a good thing, that moment changed everything in their lives. Their lives took drastically different paths. As Ekaette's academic brilliance earned her admission to a prestigious university in the bustling city, Edet, on the other hand, faced the harsh reality of financial constraints. With his family unable to afford higher education, Edet decided to pursue tailoring, a craft he had learned from his father. Though their paths diverged, Edet was determined to support Ekaette. He believed in her potential and was willing to sacrifice his dreams to ensure she fulfilled hers. God willing. Ekaette's move to the city was a whirlwind of new experiences. University life was thrilling and fast-paced, offering her exposure to things she had never imagined. She quickly made new friends who introduced her to a lifestyle of luxury and fun. The glitz of the city life gradually made her forget the simplicity of her village and the boy who had been her rock. Her new friends were worldly and affluent, and they encouraged her to seek relationships with wealthy men. Why struggle when you can have everything handed to you, babes? They would say. At first, Ekaette was hesitant, but the allure of financial security and a carefree lifestyle was too tempting to resist. Back in Ikot Akpo, Edet worked tirelessly. His tailoring shop became one of the most sought after in the village. Despite his growing success, his thoughts always drifted to Ekaette. He frequently sent her money, small sums he could spare, hoping to ease her burdens. But then, Ekaette's responses became less frequent, and the warmth in her messages began to fade. Still, Edet never held it against her. He understood she was busy with her studies and new life, and he convinced himself that her silence was temporary. God win. As Ekaette's university years passed, her connection to Edet dwindled. Her new life consumed her, and the idea of returning to her village seemed less appealing. She was swept up in the excitement of parties, dates, and the thrill of being pursued by wealthy men who showered her with gifts. She was in serious relationships with 4 different men, and in unserious relationships with a lot more. Her heart, once so firmly rooted in her village and her childhood love, began to harden. The simple, pure love she had known with Edet seemed like a distant memory, a relic of a life she had outgrown. A night to her second semester exams, she went out partying with one of her zaddies. She danced, played, and consumed a lot of liquor. When she was dropped off at her house, she slept off until the evening after the exams. When she woke up, she realized that the examination was over. It was past 7 p.m. The thought of her maths lecturer's exams, the man whose exam she missed, made her sick. It was at this moment that she knew she messed up. Mr. Ebon was a no-nonsense man. He was so diligent in his work, and Ekaette didn't need anybody to tell her that she was in trouble. Mr. Ebon was known to always say, "Umu kotongwe, adu fail," meaning, if you don't study, you will fail. Ekaette went to his office the next day, wearing a short brown dress, with her cleavage left in the open. She was ready to sell the only thing that she had to get good grades. Before she even began to speak, Mr. Ebong looked at her and laughed. Then he said, "Ekaette, afokereboke fikbong ya yiban. I make exam sami. Aya fail. Kamworo bang di yareset." This translates into, "Ekaette, you think you are the only beautiful lady. You see these exams. You will fail. Better disappear before I get angry." That semester break, Ekaette returned home, not out of a longing to reconnect, but because she needed to clear her head for the next semester, and also because her funds had run low. The village had changed a little, but the familiarity brought a surprising comfort. She bumped into Edet at the market, and for a moment, time stood still. Edet's eyes lit up with joy, but Ekaette felt a pang of guilt. His kindness and genuine happiness to see her reminded her of what she had been neglecting. They exchanged pleasantries, and Edet, ever the gentleman, invited her to visit his shop. During her visits, Edet showed her the tailoring shop he had built with his own hands. The pride in his voice was palpable, and he shared stories of his journey. Ekaette felt a mix of emotions, pride in his accomplishment, but guilt for her absence, and a flicker of the old affection she thought she had lost. Edet's unwavering belief in her, despite her neglect, struck a chord. He never blamed her for drifting away. Instead, he expressed his understanding, saying, "Life in the city is different. I'm just glad to see you're doing well." That night, Ekaette lay awake, reflecting on her life choices. The glitz and glamour of the city suddenly felt hollow. The relationships she had pursued were superficial, driven by convenience and materialism. In contrast, Edet's love was selfless, unwavering, and pure, a stark reminder of what she had been missing. She realized that while she had been chasing fleeting pleasures, Edet had remained steadfast, supporting her from afar without expecting anything in return. Ekaette decided to turn her life around. She distanced herself from the toxic influences at university and focused on her studies. Her trips home became more frequent, each visit rekindling the bond she had with Edet. Over time, they began to rebuild their relationship. Edet's loyalty and love inspired Ekaette to reconnect with her roots. She started to appreciate the simplicity of village life and the importance of genuine relationships. Upon graduating, Ekaette returned to Ikot Akpo with a renewed sense of purpose. She and Edet decided to combine their talents, her education and his tailoring skills, to start a business together. They opened a tailoring and fashion designing shop, blending modern trends with traditional craftsmanship. Their business flourished, becoming a symbol of love, resilience, and partnership in the community. They worked side by side, each contributing their unique strengths to their shared dream. Ekaette and Edet's love, tested by time and circumstances, emerged stronger than ever. They learned the importance of understanding, communication, and valuing each other's contributions. Their story became an inspiration to those in the village. Ekaette and Edet's journey reminds us that love is not about perfection, but about resilience, understanding, and growth. It is more than God when. Sometimes, we may just need to lose our way to truly appreciate the value of what we have. And so the story ends, but the lessons linger. And until next time, keep the fire of our tales burning bright. Once again, God win.